Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we will talk about knowledge in CrewAI. Before this video, in the previous videos, we have already discussed about what is CrewAI, how to install CrewAI, and how to build a simple content generation application using Olama, using CrewAI. In the next video, we also discussed about CrewAI flows, how to create workflows using CrewAI, how to orchestrate various crews, various methods into workflows using CrewAI. And we also saw an application to create a smart grading system in which we orchestrated multiple crews in a flow, in a CrewAI flow. Now, this playlist is dedicated completely to CrewAI, and I'm going to put more and more videos about CrewAI in this. And I'm putting all the videos in a sequential manner here. So we have already discussed about agents, tasks, crews, and flows in the previous videos in this playlist. And in this playlist, we'll be covering knowledge. In this video, we will see the theoretical and conceptual part of CrewAI knowledge, and then we'll also see an application use of knowledge. So where we will build a human resource assistant, which will help the HR teams to get the relevant information about the employees. So let's get started with the conceptual part first. So first of all, what is knowledge in CrewAI? So knowledge is a functionality in CrewAI which allows the agents to access data sources, external data sources, various formats of data sources. It can be either JSON, PDF, text, string, and so on. So knowledge allows the agents to connect to external data sources of varying formats, right? So we can provide knowledge at an agent level. Also, we can provide knowledge or in knowledge as in any external data source at a crew level. So we have both the options available here. We can provide the text sources, we can provide the structured data sources. In the text sources, we can provide raw strings, text files, txt files, pdf documents. In the structured data, we can provide csv files, excel spreadsheets, json documents. And we'll see an example of how to use json documents in our project, which we will discuss after discussing the conceptual part of CrewAI knowledge. Now, um, there are multiple formats of documents supported using CrewAI knowledge. CrewAI knowledge also supports the dockling using the crew dockling source method or module, which supports MD, PDF, docx, HTML, and many more file formats. So now let's see one by one the different file formats and how to use it. So first of all, we'll see the text file knowledge source. So to use this, we'll have to import this particular module, which is the text file knowledge source from CrewAI knowledge source class, and then we can import it. Once we import it, we just have to define a variable here, and then we call this module, and then we pass our file paths. So we don't need to provide the entire path of the file. We'll be just putting our files in the knowledge directory, which we'll see in our project, and then we just need to put the names of our files. And then we can use this particular knowledge source either at the agent level while defining the agent, or at a crew level while defining the crew. So when we use this at an agent level, this knowledge source will only be accessible to the particular agent. And if we use it at a crew level, this particular knowledge source is going to be available across all the agents present in that particular crew. Similarly, we can also use the PDF knowledge source here. Using the same way, we can create a variable, and then we can call the PDF knowledge source module, and then we can pass on our PDF files here. And similarly, it can be used either at agent level or crew level. Then we also have CSV knowledge source. Then we also have Excel knowledge source, and it's a pretty simple to use. In a very uniform way, Crew has provided us, these modules to be used. We also have the JSON knowledge source, and then we can also, do some chunking here. So it also provides the chunking configuration, where while defining the knowledge source, you can also provide these parameters like chunk size and the chunk overlap, right? Then we also need to provide an embedder model here along with the knowledge source. So if you provide a knowledge source, we'll have to provide an embedder model here, right? Which we will again see in our project how to provide that. Okay, then we can also clear the knowledge. So for example, if we need to clear the knowledge stored in CrewAI, we can use this particular command, CrewAI reset memories, with this knowledge parameter. This will reset the memory in the CrewAI knowledge. Okay. um, then we have already discussed agent specific knowledge, and then we can also go for custom knowledge sources. And Yeah, so this is all pretty much we have covered about various types of knowledge sources available. This is pretty simple, but really helpful in terms of when we want to add external knowledge source for our agents to access them. So it kind of provides better answers. It helps reducing the hallucinations, and then it also helps to achieve better accuracy in terms of the responses, right? So now with this quick context and background on CrewAI knowledge, let's quickly get into developing an application for the HR team here, which will help the HR team to to get relevant information about individuals working in two different departments. So here we have, if you see here, so I have already created a flow here, human resource assistance flow, which we can create using the command crew AI create flow and the flow name, right? Which we've already seen in the last video, right? So while once we create the flow, we have this directory, right? Already available. Now, if we expand this, now we have few other directories. For example, we have the knowledge directory in which we will pass on our external data sources. For example, PDF files, JSON files, text files, or any other CSV files, or any other format of files, right? So if we expand this knowledge directory here, we have two JSON files already available here, developers JSON and leads.json. I've already provided these two JSON files to our knowledge directory, right? So if the files are present in this knowledge directory, we don't need to provide the exact path of the knowledge source in our actual in the code, right? We can just put the names of these files there in the code, and this automatically takes the path. So the developers JSON is having information about various developers. So we have the name of the developer, job role, employee code, region, phone number, email address. This employee code is something which we are going to use while running the flow. And then again, we have another JSON file leads, which again has the same keys: name, job role, employee code, region, phone number, email address. And then we have a SARC folder in which we have the human resource assistance flow folder. Inside this folder, I have already made two crews, right? One is the developers crew, second is the leads crew. So if we go inside the developers crew, again we have the configuration files, agents.yaml, tasks.yaml. So if we just open this agents.yaml, we have a developer information retriever agent. Okay, so the role here is HR assistant. The goal is retrieve and provide detailed information about company developers based on their employee code. If the employee code does not match, say the employee details is not available. Similarly, we have a back history or a backstory that works like a context. So here we say that an expert in company personnel management with access to structured developer information. Okay, so this was our agents.yaml file where we have defined an agent called developer information retriever agent. This agent is going to retrieve and provide the detailed information about the developers and the company based on the employee code, right? And the employee code, we already saw that we have a key in our JSON file called as employee code, right? And this employee code is going to be unique for all the individual employees. And then we have a task.yaml file. Here we have a task which is the developer's information task, and the description is find and provide information about the developer whose employee code is this. So we are using only employee code, the unique ID, to fetch the information about a particular employee. Then the expected output here is a detailed output containing the developer's name, job role, region, phone number, and email address. Okay, and the agent which this task is going to use is the same agent which we defined here, developer information retriever agent, which we saw in this file, right? Okay, so now at this point we have our configurations ready, we have the agents.yaml file ready, we have the task.yaml file ready. Now we are good to create a crew out of these two configuration files, right? So I've already written the code here for this. So here we are using, along with all the other imports, we are importing CrewAI knowledge source, JSON knowledge source, JSON knowledge source module, right? Here we again define the variable, and then we declare the variable, and then we use this module JSON knowledge source, and we provide the files here, developer.json, and then we go on to create the functions for agent and the task, right? Here we are using the knowledge source at the crew level. So this knowledge source is going to be available across various agents present in this crew. Here we have only one agent, but if we had other agents also, so this knowledge source would have been available to other agents also, right? So we have defined the knowledge source in the crew function here, and then we're providing the embedder olama, and this is the model which we're using for embedding, right? So we have to provide this embedder model also. Similarly, we have another crew, leads crew, which has again the agents.yaml file where the name of the agent is lead information retriever agent, right? We have role is a chat assistant. The goal is to retrieve and provide detailed information, right, based on the employee code. And again, we have a similar task.yaml file, which again uses employee code to provide the information about the leads. And then using these two configuration files, we again create a crew where again we use the knowledge source leads.json file from the knowledge directory, right? And we again use this knowledge at a crew level along with the embedder module, right? So cool. Now we have all the setup ready, and then let's go to check the actual flow file, right? So here, this is a simple flow file which we have already seen in the last in the last video. So here we defined the starter function, which is the get employee details. Here, so here we take the employee code, job role of the employee, and then there's the router function which kind of decides the path of the flow. So if the job role is lead, it goes to the leads crew. If the job role is developer, it goes to the developer crew, right? And then in both the crews, we provide the employee code as the input to trigger the crew. Once either of the function runs or gets triggered, then we have a listener here which saves the details about the particular employee in a txt file. Okay, and now we give the kickoff function, and we have the plot function again. So now let's get started with one example. Here we have employee code C5, and the job role is developer. So now let's quickly kick off this crew. Let me just expand this window a little bit. Okay, so now the moment we hit enter with this command CrewAI flow kickoff, let's see how it runs and what output it gives. So it says running the flow. You can ignore this warning. Might take a few seconds. Okay, employee code C5, job role is developer. So now it goes to the assistant or the agent, HR assistant, and the task is find and provide information about the developer whose code is C5. So if you pay attention here, if the job role is developer, it goes to the developer agent. So it might take a few seconds. So meanwhile, this loads. I have one more thing to show. So I've already put all these codes on the GitHub here, so you can refer to these code. You can use it to create your project. So I'll be putting the link of this GitHub in the description or in the comments. Okay, it's taking some time. Okay, it might take a few more seconds to response back. Meanwhile, this loads. Let us see the flow diagram for this entire flow. Okay, so now if I just open this HTML file. Okay, let's see the output first. Okay, so it checks the developer.json file and it says no matching information found for the given employee C5. Okay, because here in the developer.json file, we do not have any employee with employee code C5. Okay, so now let's test this for another employee code. Let's say we give E101. Okay, quickly save this file and now let's again run this. So meanwhile this runs, let's see the flow, which I've already created this flow diagram using using the command CrewAI flow plot. So now let's open this one. So if we see the flow, it's very straightforward and very interesting, right? So first of all, we have the starter function here, which takes the input as employee details. Then we have a router function, which routes the path of the flow. So if the job role is developer, it goes to the developer crew. If the job role is leads, it go to the lead crew. And then if either of these functions gets triggered, it triggers another function called a save details, and it saves the information about that particular employee in that txt file which we have here in the main.py file. This particular employee details txt file. Okay, now we also have the response here. So we asked about the employee code E101 with the job role of developer, and then it goes to the developer crew, and it returns the details of the employee John Doe. And if we just open this leads.json file, so developers.json file, then we have this particular employee with the employee code E101, whose name is John Doe, is a developer, his region is US, his phone number is 5551234, and email address is johndoe@example.com. Cool. So this works, right? And to generate that flow diagram, you can give the command crew AI flow plot. Flow plot. Okay. So here we already have the flow diagram. It is saved to the again CrewAI flow.html. So yeah, this is the flow diagram which you will get after running that command. So again, go back to this GitHub. I'll be putting the description in the I'll putting the link. I'll be putting the link in the description of the comment box. Go to this GitHub, use these files, create your own project, modify it to create your own specific projects. Um, and tell me in the comments, did you like the code? Did you like the video? You want to see any other project? So I can create that project for you. And then you can modify and tweak it according to your own requirements. This is all for this video. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe the channel if you like the content. Like the video and share the video with your friends. Thank you for watching.